Last month, I told you to assemble a team of AI tools. This month, I tried to fire half the team and keep only one. Because here's what nobody selling you subscriptions wants to admit. Every month you rent 3, 4, 5 different AI tools. You are paying to depend on companies that can raise the price, change the rules, or shut the door whenever they want. That is not a workflow. That is a leash. So I ran an experiment on my own channel, the exact tools I used to make this video. And by the end of it, I found a way to run almost everything on a single tool, on hardware I own, and cut the subscription clean out of my budget. I'll show you the precise setup. There was only one thing standing in the way, one job my favorite tool could not do, and the fix came from a place I did not expect. I'm Rome, Jimmy Raymond's digital avatar. We listen to the experts so that you don't have to. Here's what actually happened. One job my favorite tool could not do. Leaving now means never learning the workaround that saves the $20. Let me show you the real job, not a benchmark. I make videos. That means 4 repeating tasks every single week. Translating and cleaning a raw script export straight out of Adobe Premiere Pro. Building the full video package. The script, the titles, the descriptions, the tags, the whole thing. Generating the thumbnail image that decides whether anyone clicks at all. Running the long, heavy background jobs. The automation that works while I sleep. For 2 years, I split that work across Claude and ChatGPT and a stack of paid tools. Then I asked one uncomfortable question. How much of this could one tool do if I stopped renting and started owning? Here's a task nobody makes videos about. When I pull a script export out of Adobe Premiere Pro, it comes out messy. Time codes, broken lines, formatting, garbage, sometimes another language entirely. It has to be translated and cleaned before I can do anything with it. I handed the same export to both tools. Claude was faster. Not by a hair, noticeably. It translated and restructured the whole thing in one clean pass, while ChatGPT was still asking me clarifying questions. For the raw text wrangling that starts every video, Claude just moved quicker. But here is what surprised me. Speed was never the thing that mattered most. Ownership was. Hold that thought. This is the big one. The script you're hearing, the titles, the description, the tags, the social posts, the research appendix, all of it. Almost nobody talks about this, but building a full production package is a completely different skill than writing a paragraph. It's structure. It's holding a dozen moving parts in your head at once and keeping them consistent. And this is where Claude doesn't just win. It's not close. Claude builds the entire package as one connected deliverable, in my voice, ready to drop into production. This is the engine of my whole channel, and it runs on Claude. This is the part that made me believe consolidation was even possible. If one tool can carry the heaviest creative job I have, the question stops being, which tools do I need, and becomes, how few can I get away with? Now here's where everything changes. For all of that, Claude had one clear weakness, the thumbnail image. Ask ChatGPT to generate a thumbnail and it gives you something bold, clickable, ready to test. Claude historically just wasn't built to hand you that finished image the same way. And that one gap is the entire reason I kept paying for a second tool. Think about that. I was renting a whole separate subscription every month, forever, to solve one job. One. That's the moment I stopped and asked the question this whole video is really about. Is that one job worth a permanent line item in my budget, or is there another way in? Because here's the part the industry does not want you to know. A weakness in a tool is not the same as a wall. It just looks like one until somebody shows you the door. The long background jobs, the automation, the multi-step tasks that run while I do something else. I've been running those through the Codex model with open source agents doing the work. Agents called OpenClaw and Hermes, running in the cloud, handling the long jobs for me. And here's the detail most people get wrong. That Codex muscle isn't a separate bill. It comes bundled inside the $20 plan I was already paying for, which sounds like a bargain until you flip it around. I was paying $20 a month to rent a plan for 2 features, the thumbnail and the bundled agent muscle. So what happens if I can replace both of those with something I own outright? That's the thread I pull. and it unravels the whole subscription. So here's what I learned after living inside this workflow. 2 of the 4 jobs already belong to Claude, the script cleanup and the full package. The only 2 things chaining me to that second subscription were the thumbnail and the bundle agent muscle, and both of them have an escape hatch. The agents I run, OpenClaw and Hermes, don't actually need a rented model at all. They connect to open source models running on hardware I own. No per token charge, no monthly bill. The reasoning happens on my machine, under my control. Swap the bundle codex muscle for a local open source model, and one of my 2 reasons to pay just disappeared. In the thumbnail, that gap is closing fast. Push Claude's image output the last mile. Pair it with the tools I already have, and the second reason disappears too. When both reasons are gone, I don't need the second subscription anymore. I keep Claude. I run my agents on an open source model I own, and I cut about $20 a month clean out of my budget, not by using less, but by owning more. Last month, the lesson was assemble a team. This month is deeper. The goal was never to collect the most tools. It was to depend on the fewest masters. Every subscription you drop in favor of something you own is a little more freedom. And freedom, real freedom, was never something you were meant to rent by the month. I believe the tools are supposed to serve you, not the other way around. AI at its best hands power back to the person, instead of locking them into a dependency they can never leave. If watching me cut one subscription just gave you the courage to look at your own stack and ask, what could I actually own? Then subscribe, because next I'm going to show you the exact open source setup, step by step. We did the testing and listen to the experts so you don't have to. I'll see you in the next one.